there's a crash that happened like last week. It took the price down a little bit. So two people were found dead in a Tesla Model S that burned up, and the owner was in the back seat, and the passenger was in the passenger seat. So no one was in the driver's seat. So automatically, every media, from Reuters to Barron's to you name it, immediately just thought this shit was on autopilot, and autopilot crashed and killed these two people. Except autopilot doesn't work when there's nobody in the driver's seat. There's a lot of security features put in there, right? And they even like boast about saying how the battery's a hazard because it burned for 6 hours and they used 30,000 gallons. Well, here's the fire chief of Houston who said the rumors got out of control. He said they put it out in 3 minutes. And they didn't call Tesla because they didn't know what to do. Like the media not only didn't do research, but they sensationalized this whole story. And I have some little proof that it's like there's a lot of short sellers out there, and I'm sure they're trying to take the price down, right? But
we have enough proof, man. We have like so many big Wall Street firms that are short Tesla. Don't want to say any names,
40 billion.
But it's
just say the total. 40 billion total.
What percent of the float? I'm curious.
It's actually down now. 20%, I think it was. But
that's massive. I mean, that's absolutely massive.
But just real quick, I wanted to run about Tesla's earnings because I'm big on them. But here's Consumer Reports. So they came out with an article soon after because everything in the original reports are proven to be false. So then they kind of shifted the argument to saying, well, the danger is that Tesla autopilot can be fooled, right? And so this is how they fooled it, by the way. They tied a weight to the steering wheel to make it feel like there's a hand on there. The seatbelt is buckled, and then the guy is on the passenger side, but he's got his foot on the pedal. That is the only way to fool autopilot.
That's right? A little excessive.
And they think this makes Tesla look bad, but the question is, did you fucking die? No. Did you fucking crash? No. So Tesla autopilot works, even when you fool it.
And who is going to do that? Like,
you have to intentionally, like, it's like if I wanted to go to that level, I could fool cruise control too. Am I going to, go after every car company that offers cruise control?
That whole argument's invalid though, because you could say, I mean, every car now has traction control. I mean, you could argue, I spun out going around a corner because my traction control failed, or like it's the operator at the end of the day.
And then they blame Tesla because they're saying it's the marketing. They call it autopilot. Well, here's a piece of Ford marketing with their new self-driving thing. This is a driver with his hand on the sunglasses and his lap, no touch on the steering wheel. Like if you're talking about market, like the media is just so biased. It's like everything you blame Tesla for doing, the entire auto industry is doing, but you focus on Tesla.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's because you got all the short sellers that are underwater. They're trying to pay the media.
Yeah. And I just want to point this out because data doesn't lie. First quarter registered one accident for every 4.19 miles driven in which autopilot was engaged. Drivers without autopilot but with our other active safety features registered 1 in every 2 million accidents. One in every 2 million miles. For those driving without autopilot and without active safety features, registered 1 in every just under 1 million. By comparison, National Highway Traffic Safety blah blah says there's a crash in every 500,000. So Tesla is demonstrating with autopilot on they're tenfold more safe than cars without. Data doesn't lie.
Love it.
I mean, so just the fact that they can only focus on a single accident, like the first one that's ever happened, they're like, like 500,000 accidents happen in the U.S. a year. Like, it's just ridiculous. Oh, here's more FUD from Germany. So this is an interesting take. They're saying that the traditional automakers are ahead of Tesla because Tesla doesn't have hybrid plug-in technology.
Huh?
Like they occupy the leading position in electrified automobiles in Europe. They played an outstanding role, blah, blah, blah. So they're saying Volkswagen. And it is precisely with this hybrid technology that Tesla cannot follow this, and due to lack of internal combustion know-how, has no plug-in hybrids to offer. So they're saying that Volkswagen is going to beat Tesla because they have hybrid plug-ins. That's kind of a move backwards from where we're heading.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, because now you have to manufacture an ICE car with battery technology and throw it all together. Why don't you just go either or? They'd just be more efficient. Hybrids are the least efficient, stopgap measure. But this is how, because Germany's threatened because Tesla's got a factory out there now, which, by the way, looks amazing. I mean, look at the size of this thing. This is a gigafactory. So they're not only going to be building.
It looks like the Cybertruck.
Look at
It does.
that. That's where it started
Funny.
with.
It's awesome.
So they're not just going to be building the cars there. They're going to be building your Cybertruck, Kalen, as well as the Semi. And they're going to be building their new, I think 3850, I think that's the number, the batteries. So the tabless batteries, the breakthrough solid state batteries. So this factory is going to be everything. Everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and my buddy just got a job there too, so good on him. But I showed that. So just want to quickly go over Tesla's deliveries because we'll know tomorrow. So Q1 is actually a huge beat. They delivered. Let's see, Q2 last year they delivered I think $180,000 units. I can't find the chart now. They delivered 180 last year in Q2, but I'll show on this page. So they delivered 180, and Q4 they produced 180 this year, but delivered a little bit more because there's always some in transit. So Tesla doesn't count a delivery until it's in the customer's hand. So even if it's sold, paperwork's there. If it's still on a truck or it's still not, paperwork is correct that day, they don't count it as a sale or delivery. So that's why they delivered more than they produced. But I mean, I know personally that their cars are supply constrained because I ordered one and I'm waiting like 8 weeks for it now. But so they killed deliveries. The last quarter was their highest earnings ever, and they killed deliveries. And this Q1 is traditionally their weakest, and they beat it by several percentage points. And so tomorrow's number is going to be very telling where Tesla is going to go going forward because this is their weakest quarter. Now, what makes it interesting is because last quarter the stock actually went down on disappointment, and it was because their profit margins went down. And people were wondering why. Like, if you're delivering more cars, why is your profit margin down? They had a lot of one-time expenses. So because of the massive share increase, Elon had a bunch of his stock options or stock rewards get passed. So then he realized some of those there, and there was also some construction things that are going on. So they stopped the Model S and X production line, and they're retooling to build the new Plaid models, the one that go from like 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. So the production for the Model S and X took some expenses away. So all that told, without those headwinds, this quarter should be quite an epic quarter, a lot higher than previous years. I just want to show, where's Rob Mowers? Here we go. Here we go. So these are the previous years. There we go. So they delivered 180,000 actual last year. So this is their year-over-year, quarter-over-quarter increases in production. I mean, as an investor, this is what you want to see. You want to see like exponential growth, right? Year-over-year deliveries, 109%. Automotive with sales, 75%. I mean, so the consensus estimates right now is somewhere between 27 cents per share lowest to 90-something cents at the highest. So Rob's got him at about 56 cents in the middle. But this is like, I don't know what your thoughts on this, Brendan.
Well, I can look at it from a technical standpoint. That's just about it.
Yeah, like, what do you think about the numbers? Like, increasing deliveries, increasing profit margins.
I think Tesla's definitely establishing itself as a leader in the automotive space. So I would definitely agree. I'm not sure what they have forecasted. Like, I haven't made like a model myself, so I'm not sure. I definitely think it has some nice support at its 50-day. It just obviously had to consolidate a really, really massive move. Like, we can't forget Tesla from September 2019 to like the $900 peak went up like close to 20 times.
Yeah, there's just one thing with Tesla that I am worried about. Get rid of this shit.
Like, you got to consolidate big moves, and the same with crypto.
Yeah.
So I would just look at it on like a daily time frame and see if it can hold the 50. I think the earnings are a massive catalyst, but either way, the market wants it to go one way or the next. So we'll find that out after the earnings. Yeah,
what a great start. I think it was 2 Mondays ago. We broke through the 618 support level. We came back down to test the moving average. But so like right now is make or break, because if earnings is good, we're gonna test this resistance level at 844. So we'll see what happens after that. But if not, I really think we're going to fall through and test the 200 if for some reason it disappoints. I don't see it happening, though. This is an interesting article. So this is one of the more forward-looking things that I think most investors are looking for. Tesla announced that they've registered to sell insurance in Germany in concurrence with their Tesla Germany Giga Berlin factory opening. And they also did, so they're in California right now operating, but I think they also opened up in Texas and they applied for one more state. So they're opening up insurance, and Morgan Stanley's got them adding $35 a share to their share price because it's just from the insurance business alone. So yeah, I mean, they have a lot of things lining up, coming up, because Giga Shanghai has like been a moneymaker for them. Like the Chinese auto market is the largest auto market right now. They're the only foreign company that's allowed to manufacture there and sell there, and that factory is going to go to capacity. They're going to be able to do 500,000 cars a year. You got Giga Berlin coming up, another Giga factory. Then you got Texas. So they forecasted 50% a year growth every year for the next 3 to 5 years. That is outstanding.
That's incredible. And just to look at China too, we got NIO delivering their earnings this week. I'm not sure about XPeng, but I know NIO is. And because their deliveries are on such a low base, they have the opportunity to really surprise to the upside. A lot of analysts are very bullish on NIO. It's one to watch.
Yeah, I actually don't follow NIO as much as I should, but it looks like it found support here on the 15th. I don't know what happened there, but
and same with XPeng too. It was just, I think it was what Kalen was talking about. We had that shift from these names really largely being out of favor to them really finding their level, finding their footing, and they still have to make a couple of higher highs. Like they have to work their way through some moving averages and some very important resistance levels. But they've definitely found their level. Like people want to buy NIO at that level. Same with XPeng.
And that coincides $50. Target is $50. Coincides with the VPVR, man. This is a good. It looks looking pretty good technically.
Well, it just has to base. It probably has to base for a couple more months, man.
Interesting. News. Well, actually, they're still going to be at a loss, right? I think both NIO and XPeng are still going to be at a loss, but we'll see how fast they can grow revenue. I think that's the important number.
Well, that was a story with Tesla for years. People were, a lot of skeptics were really upset that they weren't making a profit, and now they are. And people want to know now how much profit are they making, and how much of the auto market are they getting. So that bar's been raised, and now I think NIO's in the same boat that Tesla was in a couple of years ago.
I think so too. My only problem with NIO is they have that stupid business model where they want to build the battery swap infrastructure, and that's just like a lot of capex. I think it's unnecessary for a little bit of convenience. I don't know. I don't know if you have thoughts.
You're the
on
EV expert here, man.
Well, no, just as a driver, you guys, like, do you want to charge your car at night at home, or do you want to be able to drive into some station somewhere and swap a battery in like 3 minutes?
Both sound good.
Yeah. Well, they do give it one interesting incentive, and it's that they'll sell you the car minus $10,000 because that's the cost of the battery. So you get your electric car, and then you lease the battery for like $150 a month. And
what does the car cost? What's the total cost minus that?
So like 50,000 minus 10, so maybe $40,000 car.
Okay.
US. You're still paying the lease fees. Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting model. Like the only problem is like how many of those swap things do you have to build before it actually becomes usable, right? I mean, if you sell more cars, you need more stations, and then that's a lot of overhead. I mean, it took Tesla 10 years to build the supercharging network, and that wasn't cheap. And I think that's one of the key features that's not being appreciated about Tesla, like their share price. They have 20,000 chargers around the world. No single automaker or combined can say that, right?
Yeah, I know. When I was looking at them, I can basically drive across the whole country with them. Like they're all over the place.
Yeah, and Canada's just changing a lot too. Now this says we're going to be charged. So right now we're being charged per minute because it's really hard because electricity prices fluctuate, so you get charged per minute. But I think Canada is trying to pass legislation that's going to force somebody to tell you to charge us per kilowatt, so we know exactly what we're paying for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if that's good or bad, but but here's a bad one. Trudeau is he wasn't for increasing capital gains tax, but he wanted to increase taxes on people buying EV cars over $100,000. I thought he wanted to go green.
Yeah. I didn't now the only Tesla you can buy and get that reward on is the base Model 3.
So yeah, you get the reward if you buy one that's $50,000 or less. So you're basically getting a Volt, right? And then if you buy $100,000 or more, you get extra taxed.
Yeah.
What is this? Is our genius government right here?
Well, on that note, should we end it here, guys?
Yeah, we've been running for a long time.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome,
thanks
guys.
for watching, guys.